Hey everybody, this is Lem from Galahad Audio. Today we're going to discuss microphone selections and distance from the speakers. What we have here today is basically drums, bass, and 2 guitar tracks. Those guitar tracks are basically printed after they went through an amp. Then we have the IR loader, BX refinement by plugin lines to remove some harshness, and then both tracks reach to a bus when we add some sizzle back and scoop out 600 hertz, around 600 hertz. So that's how it sounds. And let's discuss different tones. I'm going to bypass everything, so what you hear is just the IR. So we're listening right now to a dynamic microphone and it's on the speaker. In this pack, which is the Kellerhead Lips Nut, we have 4 different distances to choose from. So this particular microphone is on the grill, 1 inch away, 2 inches away, and 3 inches away. Now, let's listen to the first one. There are 2 things going on at the same time. We can listen to the proximity effect, which makes the sound fatter, rounder, fuller, and it will go away the further we're going from the speaker. Another thing that you want to watch for is the sizzle, or whistling frequencies, higher frequencies, and you can notice that even that when the microphone is on a speaker, we get the fullest sound due to the proximity effect. We're also getting a very high whistle, high frequency whistle, sizzle, that is not necessarily desirable. Let's check it out. So obviously something at that distance will not be very useful for metal or rock for the most part, but we included it there for other genres as well. And few things about the IR pack. The IR pack is realistic, but we made some changes basically to help you out to enjoy the IR pack to its fullest. So one thing we did is we edited all the IRs to start at the same time and to be phase aligned. What that means is that when we're listening to the sound of the furthest distance from the speaker, the IR doesn't start later, okay? When we take the microphone further away from the speaker, it takes the sound longer to reach the microphone. Therefore, there is an inherent delay in the IR, and we didn't want to do that. So basically edited out so they all start at the beginning and they're all phase aligned. So you can combine whatever microphone you want from this pack and they will work together and not against each other. Another thing that we did was to level match the IRs. What it means is that it will make sure that all the different microphones will be at the same perceived level when you're switching them out. So you'll not be fooled around by one IR being louder than the other to thinking that it's a better sounding IR. As a consequence, what it can happen is that with some microphones, it's harder to hear the differences because they're very subtle. And I'm going to show you a trick soon on how you can listen to those differences because they are there. After we checked out a dynamic microphone, let's check out a ribbon microphone. And now let's compare the ribbon microphone to the dynamic microphone at the same position. Let's take the 1 inch, the 2.5 centimeters. So obviously I would describe this as smoother sounding and rounder. So these can work very well together. Let's move on to the next. I would describe this microphone as more aggressive and not with a whole lot of low end. Very sizzly. Now let's check out the next microphone. I'll most definitely describe this one as the darkest and fattest microphone on the pack. It's called the Amber Fossil. Let's listen to the reference microphone. Mid forward with body. Very dark, not much mids, and a lot of low end. Now let's check out another microphone. So let's start with the reference, which is the dynamic microphone. Now let's check out the Amber Fossil, the dark microphone, and see the different levels of distance from the speaker. So for example, in this distance, the 7.5 centimeters, I feel like there is a whistle that is added on. So as you can see, even there is a microphone that you know and you love, sometimes the distance that you're using is actually working against you, and it will cause you to add more plugins later on or to create a million notches because that's how the microphone reacts in that distance. So sometimes when you see some techniques online and you just copy it without realizing what you're doing, sometimes you're actually creating more work for yourself. And it's worthwhile seeing if a different combination will work better or if a different distance will work better. Now check out the Fat Bastard. You will notice that some of the IRs are harder to detect the differences between the IRs. Let's check it out. Can you tell the difference between 7.5 centimeters and 10 centimeters away from the speaker? They're there, but they're not that distinct. So what we're going to do, we're going to load the same IR into both IR slots. We're going to flip the phase. Now you'll notice that there is basically cancellation. There is no sound moving on because they're canceling each other out. Now, what that we're hearing is only the difference between the two microphones. So if you're not sure what the difference is exactly, you can use this technique to better understand what is the difference between the two IRs, between the two files, if there is any. Okay, now let's try to create a different blend. So we'll take the one with less whistle and less body. Let's listen to it in solo, just so we can better hear the differences. So that is it. I hope that you find this video informational and useful. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below. And as always, destroying and enjoying, hell yeah.